All right. Sorry about the problems there. We had a technical issue that we had to cover. And when I went to bump the playtime back to give another 15 minutes to people, apparently doing that, it completely broke the chain that I had set up to stream to multiple sources from the Restream.io source. So we learned a very valuable lesson. Do not manually go into YouTube and change the start time if you are using Restream.io because it borked the entire stream chain and I had to rapidly rebuild it all from scratch and start completely over. So, thank you to those of you who are still with us here. I do appreciate you hanging on. Unfortunately, we're going to have to completely ditch the 20 plus likes we had and the 50 people we had waiting, but I see that 35 of you are here again already. That's fantastic. What a rocky start for the premiere episode of Discordant Dragons. And we're going to be bringing on the adventuring team here now, one at a time. First up is my co-host, 3 of 12. Welcome on air, 3 of 12. Hello.
Hello. How you doing, everyone?
Second up, we have Ginger Monster. Say hello, Ginger.
Good evening, everybody. It's a pleasure to be here.
Good evening. Next, we have Aydin Paladin, the legend. Hello.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Bringing her epic wizard brain to battle. And speaking of battle, the one, the only, Don the Pleb. Welcome, Don the Pleb.
Well, hello, everyone.
Welcome, welcome. So, after that rocky start, we're not going to go over as much as I was going to go over here at the first of the show. But what we're going to do is going to be a little different from my usual casual streams. I have 5 dragons lined up. These 5 dragons are going to be from the Council of Dragons, the entire nation of dragons. And these 5 particular dragons, they have reasons to be discordant. They are upset, or maybe they're laughing too much, or something is stuck in their craw. And as we address each of the 5 dragons' problems, I will decide, completely hilariously and arbitrarily, if we have appeased the dragon and settled the discord. And if things go well enough, the Council of Worms may deem the party worthy, and they will give us a treasure from the dragon's hoard. And of course, that will be the fun thing that we do at the end of the episode. So, you guys that don't know the format, you'll pick it up as we go along. It's really easy and fun. So what we're going to do now, first of all, is we're going to introduce the people one at a time, which I already did, but let them tell you a little bit about themselves. We're going to start with my co-host for this event, 3 of 12. 3, tell us a little bit about yourself and why you want to be here to battle dragons with us today.
Well, I've been involved with politics since, more or less, since Gamergate. When I first heard about it on the radio, I knew that I had to get involved. I'm registered with my local Libertarian Party. I'm looking to run in a race eventually, and I fight progressivism wherever I see it, because essentially it's taken everything from me in my life.
And that'll make Don the Pleb happy to hear. Next up, we have Ginger Monster, a friend from the Cabal. Welcome, friend. What brings you here today to bring, hopefully, quiet to these discordant dragons?
Well, I'm mostly just here to hang out with a few friends and people who I'm sure will become friends. And, well, 3 of 12 says that he likes to get into politics for the purposes of getting into politics. Personally, I follow all of that from more of a
Okay, well, the first 2 of you didn't pick up on it. You're supposed to say some random bullshit, not something serious. Why are you here to battle dragons with us today, Ginger?
Oh, I see. Well,
you could say something like, I owe my wife a lot of alimony, something like that. There you go. There you go. Okay. Next up, we have the brilliant Aydin Paladin. What brings you here today, Aydin?
Well, because fuck dragons, greedy motherfuckers.
All right, fair enough. Fair enough. All right, and last but not least, bat and cleanup, it's Don the Pleb. Don, what brings you here today? You just want to watch a dragon explode?
No, dragons have hordes, and I like money.
Yeah, me too. Me too. Okay, so now, without further ado, we are going to have a look-see at the dragons. These 5 dragons today are particularly discordant. There are many issues, and among them, we see... All right, here we go. Let's do... I think that's big enough for all our viewers to see.
Oh, dear Lord.
I think that's enough. All right. The 5 dragons that are discordant today are classic chromatic dragons from Dungeons & Dragons. These are also known as the evil dragons, if you're a racist shitheel. Now, these 5 dragons of color, these beautiful, brave dragons of color, they have particular problems today. The green dragon, known for its noxious chemical breath, Mask Revolution is its topic. And of course, comedically, the black dragon tongue-tied, Black Dragon Lives Matter. And the red in the middle is shouting, absolutely degenerate. Who knows what that topic could be? Then, of course, in the please be patient, I have autism hat is the blue dragon. I now identify as hashtag super straight. And last but not least, the white dragon says Oprah memes are racist. Now, these 5 particular dragons have problems that we're all going to laugh at. Problems that we can hopefully help them with. So, what we're going to do is I'm going to roll a d4. Okay, that says number 2. 2 is Ginger. I'm sorry, no, 2 is Aydin Paladin on my screen. So, Aydin, you get to decide which dragon we're going to address first out their problem. So, pick us one of these 5 dragons.
Gee, I definitely want to talk about super straight.
All right,
Because
super straight it is. Okay.
Oh my god.
Now, any guesses what this might be about? Let's see what we have up here. Let me check my notes. We have 2 articles here. 2 articles. And let's see. All right. I have to share them one at a time, sadly. There's no group share in Restream, but that's okay. Up number 1. Oh, Lord. Look at what we have here.
Oh, I've seen this.
So,
Ex-gay.
now, for those of you that may not have heard, the ridiculous personality known as Milo Yiannopoulos, if you want to use the christened version of speaking that name. Anyway, Milo Yiannopoulos. Apparently now he is ex-gay. And this has caused quite some turmoil, especially in the dragon community, because dragons, they have a hard time telling us apart by our dimorphic sexual nature anyway. So this is causing this particular autistic blue dragon a lot of trouble, because the autists, as you know, they struggle with gender identity already. And some would even say there's some overlap between certain communities and autism. That withstanding, Milo here is now supposedly ex-gay. Now, what do you guys think about that? Do you think that this is possible? Do you think that this, I don't know, this particular specimen here, does he look particularly ex-gay to you? What do you guys think?
I don't know what
honest,
Milo's up to. Go
Does
ahead,
anybody
sorry.
know what Milo's up to? I mean, are we really just suggesting that no one can worm their way in anymore?
He's really dropped off the radar.
Well, people have certainly wormed the way into him before, so.
I was going to say, he probably knows a thing or two about something worming in somewhere it don't belong.
I mean, my question is, what does this mean for his black husband? Like, are they going to get a divorce? Are they just not
That's
fucking?
true.
Supposedly they're just roommates now.
That's what he said,
When
yeah.
it comes to that question, I don't give a shit. I don't care. But the dragon cares. The dragon wants us to get to the bottom of this. So, let's see. If we're going to talk about his gay husband, I'm sorry, ex-gay husband, maybe a roommate now, let's scroll down and see what this article has to say. Let's see, the gay man who's conservative messaging, okay, ex-gay. He's going to be sodomy-free, guys. You hear that? No more sodomy. Sodomy-free. All right. Well, if he's going to be sodomy-free...
for Milo, then.
So the real question that I have here is: have we determined that this is white supremacy because Milo used to make all the black guy gay jokes?
Oh, well, you see,
Inevitably,
I think,
it's white supremacy.
Inevitably, the question is going to be answered yes, because whether you be gay or straight, black or white, these men are men. And as we know, we've been told, men are the ringleaders of the white supremacy. So we know that they are at least involved somehow. And
I
two
don't know if
men
you
in
saw this.
two men in the
Sorry.
same house, that's definitely white supremacy, if you ask me.
Well, it's certainly the patriarchy.
Oh, it's
Well, I don't know
certainly. Most
if
certainly.
you saw this, but Bill Burr got called a white supremacist because his wife is black.
Oh, I've got a great
And
post right
what?
in front of me.
He's not even kidding. Having a a minority wife is an indicator of white supremacy.
Because they're saying he's keeping her as like
Lord.
a slave.
Yeah.
So
As if she doesn't have her own agency.
horrifying. I mean, the most racist stuff I've seen outside of more obscure parts of the internet. But jeez, just
racist.
outright on Twitter, just
Yep.
right out there.
Progressives are just white supremacists with the conscience.
I
Hang
guess
on.
so.
There's something that I've just realised in regards to this whole.
We've changed
ex-gay
gears a little
thing.
bit here, so I have his smiling face up for a second.
So when it comes to Milo Yiannopoulos being ex-gay, you have to ask yourself, when it comes to being gay, there's obviously the necessity of determining whether or not you are a top or bottom. And let's be honest, Milo is a bottom.
Oh,
which
come
means
on
that
now.
not
Oh,
only
yeah.
is
No, we're not
ex-gay-
going to get it. We're not going to get into the weeds about gay and straight and who does what to who.
Well,
That doesn't
all
matter to
I'm
the dragon.
saying-
Talk about
The
this.
dragon is
quickly
concerned.
Here.
No, the
quickly
dragon's
shift this-
problem here is
Oh, dear
why are you gay? Is the question. How can
Why
you
are
be
you-
not gay if we are told you are born gay?
Well, the answer to
Well,
that is
Milo's got a
obviously-
reason.
The answer to that is obviously that he spent a lot of time with Mike Pence and electricity during the election.
Here we go.
A bit more seriously, I would say Milo has kind of explained why he might be gay, and I generally think people are, for the most part, born with their sexual preference. But Milo said
Well,
he
you
was
know who might
molested by a
disagree with you?
priest.
You know
Yeah?
who might disagree with you? Milo
Who?
himself, because he's opening up
I
a
know.
conversion therapy facility down in Florida.
Because
So he
was
did spend a lot
molested.
of time with Mike Pence.
He
and
most
electricity.
certainly did.
Yes. And if people
Shock the
forget,
gay away, everybody. Shock the
Um,
gay.
Milo was molested by, or he was sexually interested in like a priest. I don't know if he was actually molested, but he sort of implied it, that he had some sort of sexual. And wasn't it also with a camp counselor? So no, that was George Takei. Sorry, a lot of prominent gay guys have these stories. But no, Milo was like super into some priest that he knew as a kid, and I don't know if that actually turned out to be sexual or not. But I
Well,
would
that
say
sounds
that
like something
Yes, I
that's
heard about
pay-per-view to me,
this.
so let's move on. Now, going back to Milo Yiannopoulos' conversion therapy facility in Florida. Now, this is particularly interesting to the Blue Dragon, because those of you who play D&D who know, even autistic Blue Dragons, like our friend here, they have lightning breath weapons. And so he's very concerned to know if he should utilize his God's given gift of lightning to help the gays. Because he was lied to, you see, by the progressives. And now he wants to know how he can help. So now that we know Milo is opening up a Shock the Gay Away facility, I would like to hear your guys' input on how this dragon can help. We're going to start with 3 of 12. 3 of 12, how can the dragon help in this situation?
Destroy the conversion therapy facility.
All right, Ginger?
I think that he should wait for the gay conversion facility to be at maximum capacity for maximum effect.
Oh.
Aydin?
I I think he should just get another job. I mean, frankly,
But he's gonna be person too much.
And last but not least, Don. What do you think?
So breath weapon for mass conversion, you say?
Yes. Let's get that sumbitch and dragon a suppressor.
Does this work on lesbians too?
All right. Well, I don't know. That's a
That's-
different
that's a
kind of
good
gay.
question.
We were talking about hot dog ramming, not taco juggling. So let's stay on point here. So the consensus is utilize the breath weapon, and I am going to say that the dragon is appeased and agrees. So we have talked to the autistic blue dragon, and he's going to do what he knows best, and he's going to put his God's given gift to work, helping shock the gay away. Okay, we have appeased the first dragon. And now hopefully you guys understand how this is going to go. I hope everybody gets the gist of it. So before we move on, since we didn't get our proper intro because everything was borked from the beginning, I'm going to take a moment and remind everybody that you can donate to this channel by Entropy primarily. But most importantly on Entropy, every hour or so, usually every 45 minutes, I check Entropy because over on Entropy, you can have questions and comments put into the question widget. And yes, I know that I have to reinitialize it. I'm doing it right now. Over on Entropy, not only can you give super chats that I read out, But you can put in questions and comments to myself and the panelists over on the question widget on the left-hand side. That way, I can check chat occasionally and look at what people have to say without having to go digging through chat, which I hate. So if you have things you want to say to me and the panelists or jokes you want us to hear, put it on Entropy over on the left-hand side, and I will get to it eventually. Next, of course, we have Cash App if you want to make simple cash donations, as well as PayPal. And we also have Subscribestar, and I am almost at enough monthly subscribers over there now to where I can actually start getting automatic billing over there, which I would love. So if you'd like to support the channel long term, you can do so monthly by Subscribestar. And now that the big shill is out of the way, now that we got the grift out of the way, we're going to move on to the second dragon. So we're going to get the dragon picture back up again as soon as it'll cooperate with me. Boop. There it goes. Okay, now, we have helped the autistic blue dragon. He has been sated. That leaves 4 dragons of discord. 4. And now I'm going to roll a d4 again. It's not going to be for Aydin. We will now include... Actually, it needs to be a d3 because I can't pick one. There we go. Okay, 3. 1, 2, 3. That's 3 of 12. 3 of 12. It is up to you. Now, you can pass if you don't want to be the one who chooses, but it has fallen upon your shoulders to pick or pass.
Oh, dear Lord. I'll take the degenerate one.
Moving on from an appropriate topic, we are going to move over to what is absolutely degenerate. Any guesses of what it could be?
Wheel of morality.
I have no
Turn,
idea.
turn.
Oh,
Anything.
I'm afraid.
Oh,
But
You
my
sh-
4chan
you should be.
training will
you should be. It's
serve me
coming.
well.
I'm both looking forward to this and terrified in equal parts.
Well, Hollywood elites rush to normalize pedophilia before they're all outed by Ghislaine Maxwell.
You know, people keep telling me the Babylon Bee is satire.
They keep being right. So
Yeah.
I just want you to feast your eyes on this wonderful picture here.
ugh.
Oh.
Do you ever look at something and get that horrible sinking feeling in your stomach that what you're looking at is truly just disgusting in every sense of the word?
Yeah. I
Yes.
pretty much do that every time I look at anything.
It's
I mean, have you been on the internet
True,
this
true.
decade?
In this one,
I
though,
have.
it's
I
because
thought
of the
myself immune.
implication. The image itself, I mean, I've seen some messed up images, but I've seen gore and stuff on the internet. This is because of the implication, which lets your mind run rampant, and therefore it might be worse.
Could
Cheese
really,
pizza, anyone? Cheese pizza, anyone?
Of course.
Oh,
The
no.
Common Pizza and Ping Pong, that's where it's at. It has rave reviews in DC.
no thanks. Even the drawn stuff is too much for me.
All right.
I can't even ingest pictures of.
For those of you that are watching on YouTube, please check Entropy. Make sure that it's working, because I've gotten mixed reviews. Some people say that it's not working. Some people say that it is. It should be working. Okay. All right. Can you guys hear me? Because
indeed.
it said that
Uh-huh.
it dropped out and I had to reinitialize. I don't know what's going on over here.
That's weird.
It seems like whenever I restarted Entropy over here, it paused the feed for me on the restream thing.
Odd.
Okay.
It was an interesting take of it.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna have to monkey around with this restream thing. It seems when I get a bunch of things going, it has its own issues. But it is in beta. It is new, so it's not all my fault today, thank God. Anyway, the reason that the red dragon is upset, hopefully Entropy's working now. Okay, everybody says looks good over on Entropy. All right, I'm going to open that back up again here in a minute. But we need to move on to the second dragon. Now, as you can understand, a red dragon, the biggest and the most baddest of the chromatic dragons, it likes to throw its weight around. it likes to use force to get things done. And, of course, it sides naturally with pedophiles and rapists, so you can understand why this article caught its attention. Now, dragons are not the best at understanding human satire, so we have to look a little bit into this article. Actor Rudy Allen says, "I'm not going to lie, this is going to be an uphill climb, but it's absolutely necessary in order to prevent the entire world from seeing us as depraved perverts." Well, actually, I guess we don't mind that as much as we just want depravity and perversion to be considered a completely valid sexual orientation. I mean, we're pretty much there already. We just have to check off one last box. So, something like that being said, you can see how it would confuse a dragon, right? You can see how a dragon might be confused by that. So, we're going to go in reverse order this time. We're going to start over on Don's side. Don, how do you think that we can explain this to a red dragon that just wants to burn and consume us all in fire? How can we tell him that he shouldn't in spite of this?
Ideally with a fine rub and barbecue sauce.
That will take care of it. True.
All right, Aydin, you're up next. You know all about psychology and sociology and stuff. Maybe you'll have something keen to add here for this dragon.
Well, you know, I would like to give the placations of saying, just don't worry, it's all satire. But it's not entirely satire. There is an unfortunate reality behind some of the philosophical bases and research bases of where this kind of perspective comes from. It's very realistic. It begins with Engels. It moves into Foucault. It's a long storied history within the left to have this kind of belief system. And so I would agree a barbecue is best. I'll second that one.
All right. I'm sure that that dragons, being long-winded and enjoying lengthy conversations far beyond mortal years, would probably enjoy hearing your long-form video content. But for now, we're going to move on to a ginger monster and see what Ginger has to say. Ginger, what's your take on this and this dragon?
Well, I would say that the dragon should realistically consider that if the dragon's natural tendency to want to claim ownership over things should be taken advantage of by simply taking a hold of the entirety of Hollywood as a whole and just simply suppressing it to prevent any of this utter sheer degeneracy from spreading any further.
The red dragon, the way that he expressed it to the council is, if they are going with their pedophilia, why should I not raise the coast to the ground and make it all embers? And that was why I said, you need to have my team speak with him, because to everyone sane, they will agree with him. And we don't want our entire civilization raised by the fire of dragons. So please, let me speak to him first. And so 3 of 12, with that in mind, my friend, what would you say to this dragon?
Well, to take a more accelerationist stance, I say I say introduce Hollywood to manga.
Oh
dear.
Oh.
Well,
that
as funny of an
quickly.
idea as that is.
That'll end it pretty fast.
That's mutual destruction.
Okay, the red dragon has flown off. We're going to have to think of something else to say to get him to come back. We need to defeat this dragon. So, come back, my friend. My little Borg buddy was only kidding. Come back. Okay, all right. I think that to appease the dragon, we're going to have to lie to him. So, if there was a dragon looming over America, ready to burn us all to cinders, because of this Babylon Bee article, what do you think that we should tell him to let him know that this is only a joke and only satire, despite his eyes deceiving him from looking at our media?
That America is simply comprised of Hollywood, Washington, D.C., Seattle, Portland.
That's not gonna help. Oh, wait,
Well,
there you go. Yes.
maybe let him know that the media and America are just slang terms for coastal cities or port cities, right?
Sold.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
That works
If we
too.
can get a unanimous vote from
as
the
they
panel.
say it, as they say, the rest is all flyover states that the dragon can fly over to get to the
perfect.
part.
Correct.
Perfect.
Yes.
With that genius wordplay, I am going to rule that we have brought peace to the discordant dragon. I'm going to say that that's 2 out of 5. I think that's good. We're going to end on that from Aydin there. That was a good one. All right, so the brainy word wizard has triumphed on this challenge. That's good.
If you kill your enemies, they win. Thank you, chat.
Okay, all right. We've got. Looks like we've got the whole crew here now. We've got about 60 or 70 people watching. That's about everybody. All right. We are
fair
going
few.
to go over to entropy
Wow.
because we have had some questions come in for the panel on the question widget, and now's good for break time anyway. We're getting close to the hour mark. So first up, over on the question widget on entropy, we've got Hunter Cunning saying, "Aydin, how do you feel about wood chippers?"
Who are we putting in them? Or what? Excuse me, I shouldn't have started with who. What are we
No,
putting?
careful. What were we
They're
just
not
talking
people.
about?
Whoops.
Because it's YouTube, we're only putting maps in them. Just maps.
Just maps. Just maps. You
Nothing
understand?
wrong with that.
Just, I mean, I don't know why you would want to destroy a nice map. I mean, you know, it's how we discovered the globe. Why would you want to destroy a map? What's my opinion on wood chippers? Excellent at chipping wood. Also really cool in Tucker and Dale versus Evil.
And Fargo.
Yeah.
All right. The next one seems to be open to the panel. It's a question over in the question widget. Actually, it's not a question; it's a statement. Kieran, good old Kieran Jameson. Kieran Jameson. That's our buddy Kizza. That's Kizza over there. Hey,
Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry if that name doxes you. I don't think it does because I think that's the name you use on Telegram. But our buddy Kizza over on the question widget says, with the super straight sexuality, have the intersectionalists admitted that all their talking points are null and void and are just more superphobic than Muslims are homophobic?
I would say yes. The super
I like
straight
the
thing.
sound. I like the ring of superphobia. How does that sound?
I love
Yeah,
it.
I like it too.
Superphobia.
When do we get to turbophobia?
I guess that will be the next the next level.
Turbophobia sounds good. And we also have a wonderful
turbophobia
cash
becomes
donation over on
Yeah, but
Cash
that's
App.
for turbo versions only.
Yeah, Kizza, my lovely English co-host, sent us $50. Thank you, Kieran. Thank you,
Good Lord.
Mr. Kizza GT. He says, from your favorite English co-host. Yes, he is. Kizza's actually been with me longer than anyone else on the channel. Him and Carnal Conservative helped me get the channel off the ground a few years ago. And Kizza's been around a long time. It's really late for him over there, but I think he works second shift a lot doing the engineering work he does. Thank you so much, my friend. I really do appreciate that. All right.
Thanks,
and that
man.
is all the questions on the question widget. And I didn't mean to interrupt you guys. Sorry, I got excited with the with the cash donation. That doesn't help. That doesn't happen a whole lot on this channel, but it's sure lovely when it does.
I
So-
like money.
I do like money. Speaking of money, I miraculously can still get lemon donations over on DLive. So thank you to those of you who threw lemons at me over on DLive. I do appreciate that. I see a few of you over there. We got Fox and Monty and Flynn over there. Good to see you folks. And a reminder, I also broadcast to Trovo. Not many people watch over there yet, but I do have a Trovo. So if you enjoy Trovo's interface, you can definitely use Trovo. But as always, we're trying to funnel as many people as we can to Entropy. That seems to be the new place for streaming. Oh, it was actually 50 quid, says Kizza. Sorry. It's,
Which is 69 USD.
I meant,
so.
yeah, that's
Perfect
7
number.
US dollar reduce there. So thank you, Kizza. I appreciate that. Hey, we
I
got
would like
Mark.
to take a
We got
quick
Mark,
aside.
not so obvious in chat. Birdie, Alex over here, Matt, the usual. Matt's the guy that drove up with me to DC to go on the marches. He's the guy that you met, Don.
Indeed.
Oh, neat.
Yeah, we got a whole bunch of friends in here tonight. Hi, friends. So for those of you that are just catching up, I see we got about a dozen new people that just showed up here. We are playing Dragons of Discord tonight, and it's kind of like a joke Dungeons and Dragons game where we have to kibitz with Worms and the Council of Worms box set from D&D back in the 90s. And it's also kind of like the framework of the Unpopular Opinion show or the Seal of Approval show that many of us like, where we have a handful of topics, we kibitz back and forth, we have some laughs. And the goal is to get all of the Dragons of Discord to quiet their rage, to quiet their upset, to quiet the upset dragons, and hopefully earn a reward from the council. And that will come as, of course, a reward from a dragon's horde. So we have 3 of the 5 dragons left for today. And I'm going to get that picture up again. And we are going to look at the next dragons together here. Okay. I wish there was a faster way to cycle through these images on Restream, but currently there's not yet, so it takes a second to go between each one. Now, so far, we did the super straight one with the autistic blue dragon down in the lower right-hand corner, and we did the red dragon already in the center. So that leaves 3 dragons. We have Mask Revolution from the green dragon, Black Dragon Lives Matter from the black dragon, and Oprah memes are racist from the white dragon in the lower left. So we have, I believe the people who have not picked yet are Ginger and Don, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Indeed.
Then I'm going to flip a coin. Don's number 1, Ginger's number 2. It's number 2. That's Ginger. So, Ginger, between the green, the black, and the white, which dragon shall we attempt to bring quiet to next?
Let's go with Black Dragon Lives Matter.
Oh, good. Always a fun one. Okay.
A fiery one for sure.
But it wasn't.
Or in this case, potentially corrosive.
I don't know. Same start.
All right, I have to get this ready. Give me a second.
We're still dealing with this shit.
This has a video that we're going to start with, but I have to get to it first. Okay, this one's going to be a video, then an article. So,
This reminds me of back when I was in school and we would always look forward to the teacher bringing a TV out and saying, "Today, kids, we get to watch a show for the lesson."
Oh, because it means you get to go to sleep. That's the best part. No, I'm going to.
Correct.
all right, well, here we go. Here's the first part of Black Dragon Lives Matter. Are you ready? All right, here we go.
Go ahead.
Now, I'd like to draw your attention here to what's about to happen. These are two...
Before you...
Go ahead.
Sorry, Yizz, before you do, that footage is very choppy on the on the restream.
It is.
Well, I have hillbilly internet, and I'm broadcasting 4,000 things. This might just have to be choppy and terrible. I'm sorry.
On the good side of things, being more choppy might make it less likely to be detected by YouTube's weird algorithms that would detect it as hate speech, violence, or whatever. So,
Indeed.
on the good side,
That is a good point.
always look on the bright side of life. So,
In the freeze frame here, I'd like to direct your attention to a few things. The silhouetted individuals that we can see here in the middle are Antifa Black Bloc pukes, as you can see by their faggot flag that they're carrying.
Ah, yes.
Now what's going to happen is something hilarious.
oh,
Yeah.
Whee! And off he goes.
oh,
Now,
well, I
as far as that's
disavow.
concerned, as far as
That was a quick disavowal.
yeah, exactly. Like, okay, that I don't really understand what happened there, other than it looks like some Antifa idiot jumped on a cop car just to be an idiot, and then decided to hold on for dear life when it drove away.
Oh,
and-
of course he did.
And I can't find any more news about that. So, did he just ride off into the sunset, and now he and the cop have a nice, beautiful gay marriage together to fill in the void of Milo in his broken marriage? Like,
You know
what
what this
happened?
reminds me of?
What's it remind you?
Have you seen those Russian dash cam videos where people just jump up on the hood of the car and fall off and they're like,
Yeah.
you owe me money?
Russian dash cam footage is amazing, but I mean, let's
Oh, yes.
unfortunately to bring a slight piece of reality into here, which we should immediately discard. We truly do live in a society, and by that I mean a victim culture society. This guy probably intentionally hurled himself at that cop car in hopes of getting victim points. Cuckoo.
Just hoping that he
Oh.
would sustain an injury, so he could start a Kickstarter and get $100,000 of that sweet Soros money.
Yes, 1000%. That's why he did it. Either there's mental injury beforehand or afterwards, but it doesn't really matter in which order it occurs, right? You get something out of it. So, However, I prefer the idea that he rode off with the cop into the sunset, and they're gay married in Montana now. They have a
Legend
horse
has
farm.
it, they're still driving.
Specifically, Montana.
Okay. Well, there is a Gateway Pundit article that goes with this that I'd like us to take a quick look at because it says a couple of things I wanted to share. Boop. All right. Okay, here we go. Stupid protester climbs on hood of LAPD vehicle during Breonna Taylor protest. Cop drives off anyway. And of course, I have a picture of the legend holding on for dear life here with his spindly little soy bag on.
He looks
Look at
like Spider-Man,
Look
though.
at that. His leg is about the size of his arm. Like
He's Rider-Man.
I bet this
Jesus
panty waist only
Christ.
weighs like 110 pounds. Look at it.
Oh
Is that even a
man.
dude? I mean,
Yeah,
I mean,
well,
one could
excuse
argue
me,
that
did you
going in
just-
Antifa is a man. I mean, I would
did
make
you
that
just assume his gender?
see, that's why I asked. I'm progressive.
Well, I mean, it's true. It's true.
Dear God.
He does
All
look
right.
like Spider-Man, though.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
handling it well. All things considered.
Now, here's the thing. The reason that the dragon in this situation is confused is because he has been told by humans that Black Lives Matter. But when he investigates out of his swamp, being a swamp creature, all he sees is the color of the rainbow of humanity, and they very oftentimes are Caucasian. And so he is very concerned by this because he was told that the color is what matters. And of course, being a prideful dragon, he very much likes the color of a thing's scales having a lot to do with what it is. So when he investigated, he found out that we have a lot of conflict going on when it comes with things around Black Lives Matter. Specifically,
Do you think that's why he was attracted to the colorful lights of the police car?
it could be. It could be. But specifically, however, he was concerned about this. Just a second. Like I said, it takes a moment.
Perhaps
wish I
the
could have
Black
multiples
Lives
of these
Matter
loaded, but you can
activists
only do
saw
one
the
screen
colourful
share at a
lights of
time,
the
sadly.
police car. Perhaps the Black Lives Matter activists saw the colourful light of the police car and said, "My lord!" and just couldn't simply help himself.
Maybe. Now, the reason that this matters is because the dragon was confused that supposedly by the outcry of BLM, that an evil officer of the king brought an untimely death to a man of black scales. And the man that brought the death to it was one of white and blue scales, two colors that the black dragon hates. So when he looked into it, he found out that the king and the king's men are trying the man while also giving money to the victims. Now, a black dragon being of lawful alignment, whether evil, that's debatable, but definitely a black dragon is lawful. And they want a proper adjudication of law, but they don't think that that's going to happen because the man of blue and white seemingly is caught up in a corrupt court. So, seeing this headline here, what does this headline say to you? We're going to start on the other side of the list, and we're going to go with 3 of 12. 3 of 12, what does this say to you today? Why is this causing a dilemma for our black dragon friend?
Jesus Christ. Because it's an absolute mistrial. That's what it is.
Yes, but remember, the dragon only knows a little of our civilization. It doesn't know the ins and the outs. Why do you think this is perplexing our black dragon friend from his swamp?
Because if you publicize a trial, then people know about it. The jury pools are picked from people who know next to nothing about it. You can't have a trial where the public opinion or the opinion of the jury is already been tainted by publicized material, because they'll come to an opinion on it, and it's a common thing in human psychology that they tend to believe the first thing that they're told.
Yes, supremacy effect.
Yeah,
Yes.
okay, all right. And you think that could also affect dragons?
I'm sure it affects dragons.
Okay,
Unless
I'll be
dragon-
careful not to let him hear that. He might be angry that you're comparing his clearly that you might be comparing his clearly superior dragon brain to that of us mere mortals that he would gladly eat if upset. So let's be careful. Ginger, let's move on to you. Ginger, what's your take on this and why this could be causing discord among the dragons?
Well, clearly, this is a case of some level of attempting to. What's the best way to describe this? This is some level of trying to manipulate those who would otherwise be trying to maintain a neutral and an honest stance on things, and that is something that, under normal circumstances, would anger the dragon. However, it's also important to remember that the dragon's natural proclivity towards gathering hordes would also make them very appreciative of the fact that there are vast sums of money clearly involved here with the George Floyd murder, with the George Floyd family.
Okay. Aydin, let's hear your take on this. Maybe you can add something to the mix here to help us soothe this confused dragon.
Well, here's how I'd frame it. You have your town of people that live near your cave, and some other people come by, and they want to try and raid your horde, right? Because they think you're responsible for it. However, the town has to decide whether or not it's okay to do that. And in order to decide whether or not it's okay to go in and send their finest warriors to raid your horde because you've deserved it, they choose all of the newcomers who specifically want to do that exact thing.
Okay,
that would be my argument.
I see that I made a great choice nominating you as part of the dragon diplomacy team. This is good. All right, Don the Warrior, what do you have to say?
I think we should remind our Black Dragon friend here that it's important to get a complete picture and not let 6% of the news coverage cover more than 50% of your opinion on the subject.
Okay. I can tell by his wing posturing that he agrees with that. He doesn't believe that such a low IQ, insignificant portion of a populace should demand what happens to the hoard of riches. He agrees. He agrees. Okay. I'm going to say that we have sated the dragon, and he is appeased. And he is going to sit this one out and not just eat everyone in Minneapolis. That's good. Okay, we have appeased the dragon. Now.
A Pyrrhic victory, I'm sure.
Yes, but he may come back another day, but for now he's going to return to his swamp and meditate upon what he has learned. That's a Morrowind reference, by the way. If any of you guys are Elder Scrolls players. That's what it says when you got XP and you got to level up. All right, we've had some things come in on Entropy over here, so we're going to pop open Entropy and see what's up. All right, we got over in the question widget, and we also have a financial donation. Let's do that one first and give it priority. We have Gemini Samimi. Gemini Samimi says, I was just watching, for $5 Gemini Samimi says, I was just watching a video on draconic magic in D&D. I might have to run a dragon-themed campaign for my players. That sounds wonderful. I have used all different sorts of dragons and combinations of them in the 32 years I've been running games. I plan to do it again. I personally love dragons, and that's why whenever I decided to make an animal or critter-themed show, I wanted to make it a fantasy show and have it deal with dragons. So I absolutely love dragons.
In a completely unrelated to what we're doing here, but if you want to go run a dragon-themed campaign for your players, go watch Reign of Fire and then run your dragons like they work in that movie.
Oh yeah,
that's all I'm saying.
Yeah, it's fun, especially if you want to have a dragon hunting game. That's a good game for that. Or a good movie for that, sorry. Over on Entropy here, we have Hunter and Kizza have more to say. Hunter says, have you considered telling them that no dragon lives matter? No, because you don't want to upset the dragons. Their lives inherently matter more than... their lives inherently matter more than ours. Do you hear me? Okay, they can hear me. Okay. All right. Next, Kizza says... Hunter, the Full Metal Jacket drill sergeant, agrees. I don't understand what that means.
That is too many references crammed together, is what that is.
Something about sucking a golf ball through a garden hose. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm not familiar enough with how this ties into what Hunter said about no dragon lives mattering. But
you are all.
But we assure the council that all dragon lives matters immensely compared to ours.
You are all equally worthless.
Yes.
There we go.
No, we have worth, or they wouldn't keep us around. All right. Next, we have Kizza here, last on the question widget for this segment. He says, with the talk of Black Dragon Lives Matter, where the hell is Joey Wheeler in all of this? All these black dragons are Joey's children, and he should man up and take care of his children.
What? Oh man, there was some terrible meme. Hang on. There was a terrible meme that I retweeted the other day. Now I have to go find it. What was it?
You
It had to do
better
with
hurry.
Joey Wheeler. I gotta. Ah!
You better hurry.
On the spot.
In cover for that
Uh-oh.
game.
Wait, I can find it.
I'm
real
gonna
quick.
put her
I
on
know
the
to
clock.
get-
You ready?
I know to get.
I'm just kidding. That,
Oh yeah, here we
that
go.
apparently mutes
It's
us off when that happens.
here's what. Don't worry, I found it anyway.
Oh,
It's
good. Okay.
Oh, nice.
Put it in
redo
private
of.
chat or send it to me on
No,
Discord.
it's just redo of Wheeler.
Please tell me this is real.
Why did it take me a second to remember that? If you don't know, Redo of Healer is a wonderful anime that everyone should be watching this season.
Yes, yes, yes,
Oh.
yes.
There's nothing wrong with it whatsoever.
I've heard of
I
that.
like American stuff like guns and pussy and not being a faggot, so I don't really get into anime.
But there's definitely some pussy in it. A
Oh,
lot.
yes.
I'm just busting on anime people. I don't really feel that way.
I've
That's
seen
okay.
a few clips. Oh,
Well, you
You
guys,
know
you gotta
Yizz.
link it to me if you want me to show it on screen because I can't see your guys' screen.
Redo of Healer?
Another-
You cannot show anything from Redo of Healer on your screen.
Why? Is it
You
too
know,
gross
Yizz,
or will I get
another-
struck?
Another distinctly
Why-
American thing is widespread drug abuse. And there's
True.
plenty of that in Reader of a Healer.
Yes.
So I think
Oh,
you'll
okay.
like it quite
Alright.
a lot.
All right.
Yes.
All right.
it's more than that. Oh, if I even mention some of the words, we get demonetized.
Well, then maybe we shouldn't. Maybe we shouldn't. We're gonna check PayPal and Cash App and see if there's anything going on over there. And if we don't have any more question widget action, and if we don't have any more financial donations, we'll move on to those last two dragons and hopefully appease the council today. So I'm gonna refresh Cash App first over here on the old phone. All right. Uh-oh. It's making me do a thing over here. Hold on a second. We're going to come back to Cash App because apparently since it was in British pounds, it's asking me to do some bullshit. I don't want to fool with that right now.
Oh.
All right. Thank you,
no.
Kizza. You broke my Cash App, you fuck. All right.
Oh, no.
All right. We have... Oh, we do have something over on PayPal. I'm not going to read your name because on PayPal it uses your proper name. But someone with the initials of BN... BN, you can say, hey, this is me in one of the various chats, and we will let people know who that is. But the person with the initials BN...
Everyone quickly type, hey, this is me into chat.
Excellent.
It says, say my Discord name from Oozaloo's server. Well, I don't know what it is. You're going to have to tell me. Say who it is. Okay. Let's see. Let's check the chats. BN. Who's BN? You're going to have to claim it. Who are you? I don't know your real name, obviously. I don't know anybody's real name.
How would we
Someone
know?
called RJ Smith has just typed BN into chat, which is delightfully ambiguous.
Well, regardless,
I
we're gonna
approve
go
of
ahead
all
and
of your
read.
trolling chat.
Zeus Kobold is asking if the anime is like Bible Black or something.
No. It's not quite like Bible Black. It's just a. It's a apparently. I mean, it's being aired on television, as far as I understand. It's not a pure pornography, but which Bible Black is. Redo of Healer is not. I mean, I think it's being aired online mostly, but it's not like a porn anime exclusively. There's a lot of porn scenes in it, to be clear, but they're not explicit.
Oh,
In that there's
okay.
there's no penetration that you can see and stuff like that. But
Good Lord.
yeah, drug usage, manipulation,
yes,
and
there is.
hypnotism. There's titties. I don't know if you can see full penetration in it. If there is, I don't remember.
All right. Well, this is getting degenerate. We're going to have to move away from this.
Yeah,
All right.
it's
Um,
look. I'm just saying, fantastic anime. Watch it. It's got a good. It has a great story. It really does.
Okay.
though.
All right.
This
It really
sounds
does,
like the
though.
teenage sale about porn. No, really. I read Playboy for the articles.
Yeah, exactly.
Articles, man. All right.
It's
Aydin.
one of the most interesting anime I've watched in a while. I I hate it, but I'm fascinated by it.
Aiden,
I
have you
I don't know if
seen
someone sent
Rising
me,
of the Shield Hero?
I don't know if
No, I
somebody
have
sent
not.
British pounds or not, but over on PayPal from whoever the person is with the initials BN, say my Discord name from Uzulu server. If I knew it, I would. You got to tell me who it is. Anyway, they say show him you have bigger balls than him. That's how you defeat the dragon. All right. Well,
See, this is when we just start reading Discord names from Uzulu's Discord server at random.
there's too many.
No,
There's too many.
it's not about getting the right one. We just pick random names and read them out. Thank you for the donation. 58th person in the list.
Yeah. All right. Well, we got a bunch of people saying, "Hey, this is me." So, I'm sorry. I would like to tag the Discord name you wanted me to tag, but in the future, just saying, "Hey, say my Discord name" doesn't help, man. Like, I'm sorry. We're just gonna have to move on. All right. Well, RJ Smith says I'm BN, but I don't know if he's kidding or not. But RJ Smith, if that really is you, and you want me to read out your Discord name, I will later. You'll just have to put it over an entropy for me. So sorry about that. Anyway, we're gonna move on. We got two dragons left. We have a lot to get through here for today. So, moving back to the dragons, it is now down to Don.
What have I got here? Oh man, Oprah memes oasis.
Or Mass
yes.
Revolution. Either
No,
one of those.
I wasn't guessing. I was selecting.
Okay, all right. Okay, so you want to do the white dragon, Oprah memes or racist? Is that what you said?
You got it. Let's ride.
All right. Okay. All right. Moving on. We're going to conquer the white dragon, or not conquer. My bad. Soothe the white dragon next. Soothe. Okay. And we're
Can
going
we
to
just
do so.
guilt it into compliance?
No, that doesn't work on white dragons. It works on white people really well, by the way. That's why we're in the predicament. All right. According to this article, it says, don't post Oprah memes if you're not black. White people are told that using interviewer Megan's reaction clips is digital blackface.
This is not the first time they've done this fucking shit, but okay.
Well, I do have a few things to say in response to this. But to do so, I'm going to have to share my whole screen because there's a lot of things to show. So everybody get ready.
We really need Jeopardy music.
Oops. I did the wrong thing. I got to share without audio. It'll double pick up the audio. There we go. All right. First, we have this. I've picked some
That's
of
a
my
raven.
favorite. I've picked some of my favorite non-white reaction gifs that we can show in solidarity together, so we don't
Does
have to
anybody
use.
recognise where that's from?
That's
Yeah,
a raven.
That's so Raven.
Yep.
All right. Next
I'm
is this
old.
classic.
Classic.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Can't be racist if you're black.
That's right.
Exactly.
And
That's big brain
still,
thing.
I
Yeah, this is
identify
one
as
of my
black.
favorites.
Is that
Good
Maury?
Lord, is that
Where is
one
that
having
from?
a stroke?
Oh yeah.
Is somebody making a retard face, and it's just really funny because she's got them. She's got them. You know, those special needs nostrils all flared out there with that big funny mouth, and it just looks really funny.
Definitely doing a face to deal
Yeah,
with.
it's intentional. It's an intentional face.
Yeah, it's funny. And then, of course, we have
That's
my favorite.
racist. But you've made it more racist. They've made
That
it
might
more
be-
racist.
I am appropriate. I'm reverse appropriating this.
This might be my
Because-
favorite GIF that the internet has ever produced.
Yeah, mine too. See, I'm reverse appropriating this to show solidarity with Oprah. See, Oprah, I can be rich. I can have all the gold and melons and balls and chicken buckets. I can have all those things too. Even rich people can be oppressed. So I can be just as oppressed as the billionaire. So this is reverse appropriation. I'm taking back from her a little bit here. See? And then last but not least, this guy.
Oh, that was so funny in The Office too.
We all love this guy.
Yeah.
Stanley is just like, I don't care about your race stuff.
Yeah.
All right.
Old enough.
All right. Going back to the article then, now that we've had a little bit of fun here. Now, according to this here, they say that you shouldn't post Oprah memes if you're not black, right? Now, is this
Wow,
trying to
fucking
say that,
stop me.
yeah, like now, is this supposed to say that you're only allowed to share memes and gifs if you are racially identified with the imagery? Surely that's not what they mean, is it?
Okay, so here's the argument. I've studied this, as sad as it sounds to say. It's that they claim this type of ideology, that this whatever kind of academia they prescribe themselves to, claims that it's essentially a minstrel show for white people to use GIFs of black people on Twitter or other social media sites, and is a form of digital blackface, as it says here. So it's like a minstrel show. If you use a GIF of Oprah or Dave
A minstrel
Chappelle,
show sounds like a really gross feminist show.
a minstrel show. Well, a minstrel show, if you don't know, was a real thing that happened where white people would actually dress up in blackface many decades ago, and enact stereotypes about black people. So that's where I think it's hilarious they're talking about this instead of the crazy stuff that Meghan Markle talked about. But okay.
God.
So
I can't
before we get
stand that
too
bitch.
far away from that,
Oh my
I need
God.
I need to ask an academic question of the person who has studied this. Who gets to post Sean King memes?
You know, that's a good question. I don't
People
know.
in Iceland, probably.
He is very white. I don't know. I mean, that would be a good question, because if the whole idea is that if white people post GIFs of black people, they're assuming a black identity and thereby performing blackface digitally by using black identity to express themselves in a digital format.
Well,
Where does Sean King fall into the equation? I don't know.
if we follow
Sorry.
the intersectionalist model and you eventually get down to the individual, the only person who can post Sean King memes is Sean King.
It's Sean King. Yeah.
Who is Sean King? This-
Oh my.
Go forth and Google Talcum X.
Talcum X, yes. Sean King
Talcum
is
X.
a African American black rights activist who is a white guy who had his hair cut in a certain style and
Oh.
slightly tanned himself in order to get a
Unless you're
admission
jankier,
and scholar
then you're
in order,
tan him a little more.
in order to get a scholarship. Yep.
Good
Claim-
Lord.
His own mother says that his father isn't black, and he called his mother a liar.
Indeed.
Oh no! Oh my God!
Yeah, it's real fun.
Nothing shady going on there.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so a quick little addendum. I had my Discord muted because of the show, and apparently this is the guy who the other day in Uzulu's stream said he would give me money to say his Discord name on stream. And unfortunately, it's a bit degenerate, but I will say it to appease him. His Discord name is Even Harder Daddy. That's his Discord name. So he goes by the name Even Harder Daddy on Discord.
It could have been so much worse.
It could have been, and if it was much worse, I probably wouldn't have read it. But he said he would give me money to say his name, and I should have remembered because that was a funny discussion the other night. But whatever. Anyway, back to the task at hand here. The White Dragon is particularly upset because white dragons are prone to chaos and rage. They especially hate it when creatures that don't look like them get uppity and start flexing their wings in their immediate vicinity. And I think that this is some kind of projection from the White Dragon upon Oprah, since Oprah too has a big treasure hoard. So we're going to go starting with Don through the party and see what words of wisdom we can say now that we've tackled this topic to appease the dragon. Don, we'll start with you.
If the white dragon identifies as black, it can post Oprah memes.
True. So by the laws of the land, we can tell the dragon that it can utilize the laws of the land to play the reverse race or the trans race card, right?
You got it.
Okay. Aydin, what do you think? What's your wisdom here for this situation?
Oh, you could definitely cancel Oprah for something. She's been on air for 30 years. Just go back and find something she said wrong, because there's definitely something.
Now we have to be careful because cancel in proper draconic means something very dark. It involves the rending of wings and shouting and all kinds of mess that I don't want to go into. But I'll use different words when we translate. But thank you, Ginger. What do you think in this situation would be best to tell the angry white dragon?
Just impress upon the White Dragon that should it decide to engage its wrath upon humanity, that if it should choose to do so, focus all of its ire upon Oprah herself, for she is the only one with a horde worthy of receiving his wrath.
Okay, will do. 3, what do you think?
Well, without using the word cancel, I'm sure we can find something on Oprah. I mean, just referring to the fact that she used to not use today's progressive language, that she used to be the conventional definition of of not racist. They could just paint her as a racist and cancel her right there. I'm sure they could catch her saying some sort of word that's considered to be horrible. Or maybe
Oprah got her start. Oprah got her start, by the way, in Baltimore City as a local TV show host.
Yeah,
On local news. So she's definitely said something.
oh yeah, absolutely.
All right.
We could probably
Well-
get her on her accent.
I'm going to rule that we have appeased this dragon, but not because of the wisdom that we've said, not because of any of that, but because of the gift clips that we showed. It taught the white dragon that even those without the white scales can be funny and lovable, as opposed to the cunts that it sees on our media. So I'm going to rule that just by merit of meme alone, we have appeased the white dragon, and it's gone back into the wherever its Arctic home is. So I'm going to say that we've done that.
Saved by the power of memes. I can think of no better moral to this story.
Uh-oh. We have an update. We have an update to the name story. I am being told that even Harder Daddy is not the entire name.
Oh.
Oh no.
I am being told that he has an even worse nickname in Uzulu's server. And I'm going to find it, and I'm going to... Okay, this is terrible. It says his name in the Uzulu server is Ram My Hard Drive Daddy.
Not even that much
You are-
worse.
Like, what is wrong with you? Why? Is it just to make people read it? Is that why?
Did you just say
why?
ram my hard drive?
Yes, and it's RAM, like random access memory. Here, I'm going to copy and paste it into the fucking chat.
I
You
was
paid me
expecting
money just
something
to
awful.
have me read your terrible name, so now you can be happy. I have read your god-awful
That
name.
bad.
I was expecting when he was like holding you hostage to read his name.
Oh,
I
no.
was expecting the biggest series of slurs
Right?
ever conceived.
Moo has a worse name on Minecraft. He goes by Jerk My Stick.
One of my favorite screen names is from my friend Nervy from like 20 years ago. We used to make just terrible Yahoo and AIM screen names for fun around the turn of the millennium. And my favorite of hers was Come on My Hot Buttered Turd. That was my favorite screen name of hers. She used to troll people with that all the time. And there was this one chat room for a radio show that would automatically read out the Yahoo screen name. And a couple of times into that, they killed that feature.
Oh, that reminds me of
one
the
of
time
the-
I called into Tom Green's show and asked him if he'd liked Mudkips. That's a real thing. I hope no one ever finds it, because that is me.
One of the best screen names I've ever seen is a friend of mine who has the uncanny ability to make a call in any video game he is playing, and for it to be immediately proven wrong by previously unforeseen circumstances. For this unique ability of his, he's decided to change his name to Nostradamus. It is absolutely perfect and spot on for his uncanny ability to be immediately proven wrong. It's glorious.
All right, we're about to move into the last part of the show, so I'm going to do my shield links one more time. Remember, everybody watching, over on Entropy, that's where you can leave financial gifts. I will read out what you have, even if it is a terrible, terrible screen name. I will read it out, as you have seen. Also, if you want to make one-time donations, we have both Cash App and PayPal, which I will be leaving in the live stream chat boxes right now. Those are wonderful places to leave little one-time donations. And last but not least, you can always support me on my Subscribe Star, which is close to having the goal that I need to have automatic billing each month, so my supporters don't have to hop on and off each month to click the payment button. So, with that being said, we're going to move on to the last dragon. And in case you didn't remember, The last dragon is Mask Revolution. Do you guys remember?
Yes.
Okay. So the green dragon will be the last dragon, and Mask Revolution, as you might know, is a very confusing topic for dragons, because normally they would associate anything that's a mask to be some kind of muzzle, which I don't need to tell you a dragon would absolutely hate. So what we're going to start off with is lockdown protests, and of all places, this is in Canada, of all places. Look at all these people out protesting the lockdown in Canada. Look at this. Look at all these people out there. All right.
Interesting how they're protesting now.
That's visual aid number 1. Visual aid number 2 comes in the form of a meme. We're going to get this up on screen so everybody can see it. There we go. There we go.
Yeah, pretty accurate.
This is pretty accurate, I think, to a lot of people.
Slightly.
What do you guys think about this? Is that a pretty good meme?
Yeah,
pretty
yeah,
good.
that's depressingly accurate.
Yeah.
I would change it slightly. I would change the last one to "I want to feel safe."
Yeah.
Because that's
Be
the-
scared and feel safe. Yeah, well.
And I think it's also it's not just I don't want proof, it's I don't need proof. Because part of what we've seen continually over the last year is that anytime there is something that's contradictory to the narrative in any way, including if it's science from a scientific source, including if it's example that Texas has done fine or that South Dakota has done fine despite not implementing the same kind of regulations that everywhere else has implemented, and they've done fine comparatively, it's this bizarre psychological sort of thing where they don't want to see the fact that that could be a possibility because they've scared themselves into a corner so much. So they have to make themselves believe to avoid psychological reactions that that is the truth. Sorry, psychology aside. But I find this shit fascinating in a really sad way.
That was just to wet your whistle, because that's not really what's confusing the green dragon. The green dragon is confused by why someone would want to use their muzzle as fashion. So, I put this Huffington Post article to you guys. Celebrities matching masks with their outfits is the hottest Grammys red carpet trend. Now, I'm pausing here because I know half my viewers just turned and retched onto the floor.
Yes.
So we're going to give them a minute. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to look at these fine, upstanding members of society. And now,
Why did you
to
have
the
to
dragon,
zoom in? Huh.
now,
Oh
to
my
the
god.
dragon, you can
What
see
made it so much
why
worse?
Yeah, I was going to say, you can see why this is causing some confusion to the dragon. Green dragons are notoriously bad eyesighted for dragons, but they still have, which is still far superior to all human vision. Okay, that's enough of that. So I would like you to tell me, first of all, we're going to start with Ginger on this one. Ginger, tell me why you think this would be confusing to a green dragon of the swamp, and what we might could say to such a dragon to assuage his rage of why people would celebrate being muzzled.
Well, obviously, dragons are truly glorious and majestic creatures who need no form of garment to hide their sheer form of perfection that they truly possess. However, we mere humans do not possess this same quality, and as such must swathe ourselves in the garments created in order to try and reach for a mere grasp of the visual divinity that dragons possess. These people who have decided to attempt to take these masks and match them to their otherwise outfits are a vain and childish, but admittedly well-spirited attempt to attain the same glory that dragons exude on a daily basis without even so much as breaking a sweat.
Well, what about the rest of you? Anybody else want to step up and say something about this?
Oh, I'd say it's camouflage, right? It's absolutely social camouflage of wanting to be to appear to be normal. That's why the humans use it amongst one another. But as we can see from Billie Eilish here, she's truly, clearly trying to blend into her environment, which would make it easier for her to pass, some perception checks and get it and steal your
dragon makes a
hoard.
good point, though. The dragon says that he can. Now, I'm going to have to translate this from dragon, but he says he can still smell the AIDS of LA on her. I don't know if I translated that correctly or not.
Oh
but
yeah,
he said
100%.
It is not proper camouflage for a dragon because he smells her West Coast AIDS still.
Well, I mean, humans are a social species. They're always prone to mimic one another, and this is just another form of mimicry. He may be able to smell her AIDS, but this could be a futile attempt, I would say. And therefore, if he can smell it, doesn't really matter. Makes it easier. Just focus on your smell rather than on your sight.
Yeah.
That's actually a good idea in general, because if you haven't seen those people who have the masks where they have their own faces printed on it, and they have the mask pulled down in the photo of the mask on their face, if that makes sense.
Oh,
Yes, that makes me want to hang myself. So let's move on to something
Don't
else.
trust your eyes, only your nose.
3 of 12. What do you have to say in this situation? What do you have to add to this conversation?
It reminds me of a picture I saw about you can see psychopathy from the state of someone's eyes. And do you see that Billy?
Sanpaku.
Yeah, her eyes. You can see the whites underneath her eyes. Isn't that a sign of psychopathy?
Yes, it's Sanpaku eyes. Three whites.
Oh God.
Well, that doesn't. Well, you can see that in my eyes too. Maybe that's my clinical psychopathy showing.
But
All right.
Also, additionally, the fact that they're all doing this to show the plebes how they're supposed to act, what they're supposed to replicate.
Yes. Yeah. Okay.
Worship them.
The Green Dragon understands that. Okay. And Don, would you like to wrap this up then? What do you have to add to this that could help wrap this up for the dragon?
This is clearly the mating ritual of the lesser-known human subspecies of douchebag. It puts on all of the appropriate accoutrement to inform other douchebags that it's available.
That's now the proper name for that is city queer, right? These are city queers we're talking about, right?
Yes, definitively.
Yeah. Okay. All right. That's what I thought. Okay.
I think that's the scientific term anyhow.
Well, I needed to know to translate into Draconic for our dragon friend here. Okay. Now that I have translated that, I believe that we have put to rest the notion that these people are incorrectly camouflaging themselves while also muzzling themselves. So we have explained that it is a now the language I had to use for the green dragon made me had to explain that this is some kind of homosexual mating ritual, but I think that he bought it and he seems not angry anymore. So we have appeased the green dragon. Now, knowing that we have appeased all 5 of the dragons, surely there will be people in Entropy and over on YouTube that have things to say about this. So we're going to go check that out now. Let's see. Over on Entropy, we have another paid donation from Keith Ray. Keith says, for £5 Keith Ray says, if I'm transracial, can I post Oprah memes? Well, I believe
Good
that the
question.
answer to that is always going to be yes. You can always post memes, whether or not you're going to be called a white supremacist or some kind of other retarded word. You can probably still post the memes. I don't know if you can get away with it though, but you can definitely do it.
Well, look at it this way. If they're going to criticize you for it, that's definitely transphobia.
Yeah,
Not
exactly.
Yeah, true. And remember, as it's been beaten into our heads the last several years, there are many different kinds of trans, not just 2 kinds, not just 3 kinds. So surely you got to be some kind of transphobe if you have a problem with transracialism, right?
Exactly.
Surely.
Thank you,
All
Richard
right.
Dolezal. Thank you.
Thank you, Richard. Thank you. All right. We also have a few things over on the question widget on the left-hand side of Entropy, also known as the Tall Kevin widget. Stoker says, when will the kind, wise, smart, and wealthy dragons have us back? Now the dragons of the Council of Worms, they like me, you see, because I speak dragon very well, and I understand many different types of dragons. So every week I will be meeting at the same time, around this time, Monday evenings, to help them sort out their problems between the Council of Dragons, and us plebs here who have to live in reality. So that's how often they're going to have us back, every Monday night. Kizza has 2 more things to say over on the question widget here. He says, so are people who voted for Biden allowed to use the Oprah reaction clips because they are black, according to Biden, as those who don't vote for him are not? Now, you see, this
Very
is
good question.
this is why we like having the question widget, is because many times the Peanut Gallery will have something just absolutely keen and insightful to add, and this time it comes from my old-timey co-host, Kizza. Thank you for that, Kizza. Anybody have anything to add to that?
That's a whole bunch of logical fallacies, right? What he said is, if you have any trouble figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, then you ain't black, which unto itself could mean that black people only voted for Trump.
Oh. True.
That's a good point.
Interesting. All right. Last but not least, over on the question widget for now, we have another one from Kizza. He says, we should comfort the white dragon, as they were rejected by the rich white man, Sato Kaiba, and tell him that they're a superior blue eyes white dragon, as others are actually just blue dragons. Now, I assume that's an anime reference, right?
Yes, that's a Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yes, Yu-Gi-Oh!
reference, although.
Okay.
That's
you guys will
quite
have to
dated,
forgive me. I know almost nothing about anime or anime culture. I'm
Get
sorry.
off my
It's
lawn.
a second Yu-Gi-Oh reference made in this stream, which is terrifying, but
Oh. Well, maybe somebody's just trying to give me a bad reputation. I don't know.
no, I made the first one, so it's on me.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah, it was redo of Wheeler. I hope everyone is dying inside if they didn't hear it the first time. I hope it's killing me the second time over.
Well, I have good news. After reading those and going through those, I have been notified via telepathic sending from the Council of Worms that we did a pretty good job this week. Not the best, but we did pretty good. So we have been given coordinates to go to a dangerous trapped treasure chest that is in a mostly picked clean hoard. And I'll be putting that up on screen here in just a second. Now,
Excellent.
they said that we can have the treasure inside here, but it is booby-trapped. So many have tried before to disarm it. So who wants to go first to try to disarm the trap on the chest? Any takers that want to go first?
I'll do it.
Okay.
Well, I mean, we are Borg. Okay, it's
Okay.
it's disarmed.
All right.
That's how that works.
True. Yeah, that's how it works.
That is exactly how it works.
All right. Well, we're going to see how you failed here in a second. Uh-oh. It seems that you have failed and set off a noise machine, and we all must endure the sonic damage that is incoming.
Oh no.
Oh
no, what have you done?
Jam.
What have you done? You arrogant ass, you killed us all!
This is my jam.
Oh no!
What the hell was this?
It's my jam.
Save. I am confused for D4 plus 1 rounds. Holy crap.
This one doesn't in any way affect me. I'm in fact made stronger by this song.
A bunch of.
What have you done, you arrogant? Oh, you arrogant Borg. Oh no! There's a second stage to it. Oh god!
Sounds provocative.
No, it won't end.
Funny.
I thought we were through with all, but it's still in here.
Sounds
What are we gonna do?
funny. Sounds provocative. Tweets. Funny.
Now we've got War Chief Warren in here too. Don't get scalped, anybody. Oh god. Okay.
Oh, it's such a good song though.
Oh, I thought it, okay. Okay. I thought that was reality there for a minute. Okay. Thankfully, it was just an illusion.
Okay. Wait.
Okay. Good.
I
The
was
good news is-
convinced.
Go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead.
I was entirely convinced that was the new reality that we would all have to live through for the rest of time. And quite frankly, I was okay with it.
Lucky for all
Okay.
of us, we just got a guy that loses his place in the first word of his speech now.
Well, there's some good news. There are let's see, 2 pieces of treasure in the treasure chest. One is in the form of a fun video, and the second is in the form of a white pilling article. So we're going to have a look at the video first here, and that's going to be our treasure for the day for a job well done. Okay, share audio. Here we go. All right, give me just a second. All right, this is a fun video from Brazil. Now, here, you see a man riding by on a bicycle, and he just stole that woman's phone, right? You see that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now watch what happens. Boom!
Oh.
He gets up, bike ruined, he runs off, and then a bunch of other people help, and she starts screaming this guy's a thief, right? So he's run away, leg injured from being hit by the car. And then a whole bunch of people just start beating his ass because he stole the phone.
Wow.
Now, normally, I don't condone vigilante justice, but this is pretty soft. They don't hurt the guy too bad. They just rough him up and take his phone back. And then they give it back to the woman. So, that's pretty white pilling. It's nice. The violence wasn't excessive, other than maybe getting hit by a car. That was kind of crazy. But
What language
You
is
hear
that
that,
in?
Susan? It wasn't excessive.
You hear that? You hear that? It's okay.
It-
It's okay.
I think it wasn't excessive. Where was that at, though? Because I didn't
Pretty
hear
sure that's
the...
in Brazil. Pretty sure
Oh,
it's
that's why I
Brazil.
couldn't understand shit.
Yeah, it's in Brazil. I just checked the article. It's Brazilian. So they were speaking
'Cause
Portuguese.
Spanish I can understand.
Okay.
Portuguese, I can't understand whatsoever.
Me either. I don't know shit. I'm an American. All right. Next, the last piece of treasure in the treasure chest is something white pilling. It is COVID drives homeschooling surge. Public school enrollment drops massively. And here we have some things I like to read. There was a drop of 17,000 kids going to the public schools and kindergarten enrollment this year, as well as a 2%. Overall public school enrollment declined by 2%, counting all grades, driven largely by a 9% decrease in kindergarten enrollment. And down here, look at this. Look at this big percentage change from 2019 to 2020. Massive, massive drop in young children going to public school.
Yeah.
And then, in the same area, we saw a 12.4% increase to private school enrollment. Homeschool numbers rose nearly 50% in a single academic year. The surge likely came from parents who wanted to limit family exposure to the virus. And here, I think the virus they're talking about is anti-whiteism. I think that many, many parents across this country finally saw the kind of absolute mind trash that their children were being taught and were like, you know what? Fuck that. I like to hope that a lot of it comes from that parents are finally starting to realize what cancerous indoctrination centers public schools are.
They really are.
Let's hope.
I just thought this would be a nice piece of treasure for us to all
That is
bask
a
in.
nice piece of treasure. I don't know how many people will learn from it in the long term. Do you know what I mean? Because, look, I understand. You're kind of told this stuff as a young person your entire life and as an adult is that you have children and you basically just hand them off to the state after they're 2 years old.
Yep.
And don't worry about what's taught to them ever again.
And you want to hear the icing on the cake that ties together all the articles today? This is in Minnesota, where Derek Chauvin's trial, where the George Floyd riot started. Check this out. This is keep on Minnesota. 12.4% increase in kindergarten enrollment for homeschooling and a 49.5% increase from last school year in the number of students that go to homeschool.
Good.
49.5% increase. That is epic.
Is Nick Rekieta in Minnesota or is he in
Rekieta, I think, is in Wisconsin.
Is it
I think.
Wisconsin?
But I know that he's up in the Great Lakes states somewhere. I'm pretty sure it's Wisconsin though. But he might be in Minnesota.
I can't remember where he is.
I don't know Ricada real well.
The
It's either
important thing is,
Turn on any video and he will
Wisconsin,
open it
but-
with, I'm in a small law firm from wherever we're looking for.
oh, Minnesota.
Yeah, he says
I
it
thought
all the
was.
time, but I forget where it is.
Ricada Law. It's a small
look up
law
Ricada
firm in
Law.
Minnesota. I'm sure of it.
Okay,
It's in
it sounds right
Minnesota.
to me.
Yes,
Okay.
I'm correct. Okay.
Okay, good. And I know that he's got a lot of kids. He probably either homeschools or private schools them.
He does homeschool. He homeschools them. That's the reason I brought Ricada up is because he works with a lot of other parents, as far as I know. And yeah, good. They should. People should
Yep.
homeschool their kids more. I have some concerns with homeschooling. That your kids hang out with other kids, it can lead to some social issues.
Oh,
But,
sure. All of the socializing issues and questioning the value of the content that parents teach their children aside, I think that any kind of homeschooling that isn't like, some kind of weird, gross sexual abuse or whatever,
Right.
I think any kind of homeschooling imaginable, even bad homeschooling at this point, makes for a better life than any kind of public schooling. That's where I'm at this point now. I think that our public school institution is so far gone that any kind of homeschooling has to be better.
I mean, I can't imagine, outside of some very specific instances, I can't imagine how homeschooling at this point is worse than public school.
Yeah. Well, now that we're done basking in the treasure, any more basking that the rest of you want to do before we close up here?
Dear chat, I had no black pills to say about it, and it all came from Aydin. So checkmate, chat. Checkmate.
All right. Well, what we're going to do here is we are going to start with our illustrious guests, Aydin Paladin and Don the Pleb. They have by far the largest audiences of anybody here, and we're going to let them shill or talk about whatever projects or channels or whatever things they want me to shill for them, starting up with Aydin Paladin and her wonderful gifts here. I've got her embiggened on the screen here.
Enjoy.
I definitely have her channel that I'm going to link. So I'm going to do that for you right now. Is there anything else you want me to link, like any social media or any particular projects you'd like people to see?
No, you can just, if you know me, you can either find me on my YouTube channel linked below, or you can find me on Twitter, which is linked through that YouTube channel. The project I'm working on right now is about the idea of social contagion. I had several people mention to me, and have seen more and more people mention to me over the last couple of months, that this idea that YouTube and Twitter and Facebook and Instagram and whatsoever do not silence conservatives in any way, and that's all bullshit. There's no silencing of conservative channels. There's no way that social media sites have the capacity to do that kind of stuff. It was all fake and conspiracy theory. Well, I have the data on it, and we're going to go through it in the next video about how social media sites 100% do affect what you see, and they've been doing it for at least a decade. So
And you said
I've got all
that's
the data
not
on that.
released yet, so I can't link it, right?
No, the last video that I did was on the idea of friendsham, which is embarrassment at someone else's embarrassment or suffering. It's kind of so like
I haven't caught up and watched that one yet.
if
That's the last one
Schadenfreude is laughing at someone else's embarrassment or suffering, then friendsham is you suffering from watching someone else suffer. YouTube is super messing with my channel right now to a degree where like I've talked to my representative and they're like, oh, we don't know why suddenly you lost 90% of your viewership, but okay.
I think what happened, you're much bigger than me, obviously. I'm tiny by comparison. But when starting around election season, I noticed my traffic, my random user traffic, people that bleed in from just random places on the internet, that completely stopped. And then in January, after the inauguration, after that happened, my traffic just nosedived. Like I was up to almost 100 viewers per live stream, and now until today we have almost 100 again. Until today, I was down. I was lucky to get 30 viewers in a stream. People weren't getting notifications. The algorithm wouldn't touch me. I wasn't growing at all. And I think I lost about 10% of all my subscribers in a month. And I don't think that was because people were leaving. I think it was accounts getting terminated. I think that's what was happening.
I mean, that might be part of it, but I'll tell you, it's not just you and me. It's everybody. I spoke to Sinatra Says. He saw the same thing. I've heard Quartering say the same thing. I've heard Styx Hexenhammer say the same thing. So at that point, if we have everybody saying the same thing, it's not a conspiracy theory. we know that these social media sites have the capacity to hide stuff. And I think what's happening right now is I don't think it's like a big, nasty conspiracy theory necessarily in the way that one might think of it as. It's that after the inauguration, what I found on my YouTube feed is that I suddenly got recommended a ton of videos about like animals and food and stuff I've never, from channels I've never seen before, because they wanted to, okay, let's be real. They wanted to de-escalate politics. It's like, oh, go look at this cute dog. Go look at this fun cooking thing. Don't pay attention to politics. That's what's happening. Yeah. It's not complicated, but that's the reality. So of course they're going to demonetize, or not demonetize, excuse me, de-rank and deprioritize political channels. It's not just going to be me or you or Styx or whoever. It's going to be everybody. Yeah. And that includes Vosh. It includes, it includes Vosh, it includes ContraPoints. Everybody who does political content, unless they think they're put on a very specific okay good boy list, is going to be de-ranked. And if you're okay with that because you're on the left and you think it's only going to affect the right, you better check your watch, because it's not going to be just us. Not just going to be the right. It's going to be you too, dude.
It seems like Jordan Peterson and Fox News are what the algorithm wants me to watch, because I'm like, oh, hey, I'm going to watch this video by this nationalist speaker.
Yeah, I get Jordan Peterson.
YouTube is like, no, you don't want nationalism. You want Jordan Peterson and Fox News, and then it gives me 9,000 links to their shit.
Well, I don't mind that. I like Jordan Peterson. I like Tucker Carlson.
You would.
I'm a big fan of Jordan Peterson myself.
No, I'm just kidding. JPP has done good for a lot of people, and I really like his series on Bible stuff. I watched almost all of that. Those are good videos.
Although I am not religious, his rules on living a good life saved me from being a bum.
Like I said, he's reached a lot of people and done a lot of good. I don't want to poo-poo Jordan. So, is that all that you wanted to share? We can move on to Don now?
Yeah, absolutely. Sorry, I actually went on to way long of a tangent. I'm sorry.
That's okay. That's all right. Don, what do you want me to shill, my friend? I've got all your links here.
I don't think there's anything in particular to shill at the moment. The channel exists. I don't know how much longer that's going to happen. As someone who is deranked, demonetized, deboosted,
I think that's everyone here, to be fair.
As Chad has pointed out, I have the illustrious title of being a person who had 50% of my subscribers culled in one live stream.
Jesus.
Yep.
So
God.
We watched it happen.
It was it's been particularly, let's say, great. So by all means, drop on over to the Pleb Media channel. Wherever it is that I start producing other things, I will let you know over there.
And just like me, Don is wanting to grow his Entropy viewers, and he only allows live chat in Entropy now. And I think I might eventually go to that too. But right now, most people seem to want to talk in YouTube chat. But it's I don't think that this platform is going to be for people who actually want to speak and think openly for much longer. And hell, they might even make that choice for us sooner than we think. So definitely follow old Don. I put the link to your Discord in there too. You can meet up with all the American Patriot crowd and those of us who do the talkity talk activism and want to meet up, get people hooked up together, and all that good stuff. You can meet up with us on Don's Discord there. Ginger, anything you want to shill or talk about, my friend?
I have nothing to shill.
Okay. Ginger, I know from the Cabal, and that's Uzulu, who most of my viewers know that I do stuff with a lot. The Cabal is a wonderful internet community that formed around Uzulu, and Ginger plays in role-playing games over on Uzulu's Cabal, or Uzulu's server called Cabal. And Ginger is actually in a guy named Wes, who my viewers will know from him being on one of my streams recently. Wes is the DM for a game with Uzulu, Kiki, and Ginger, and that's where the artwork of Ginger is from. So we're going to go ahead and pop that up here.
Yes, that's right.
Let everybody see the artwork.
I play a dwarf in this game, and so far we've had a grand total of 1.5 sessions. These are supposed to be weekly sessions, but unfortunately, life likes to shit on people. And apparently, it likes to do so on a weekly basis.
This sounds like standard gaming to me.
Yes.
Oh,
it's hard to make a game happen. And again, let's do on the way out here. Let's get my co-host in here, 3 of 12, with your cute little Borg plushie here. What? Anything you got going on? Anything you want to shill? Anything you want to talk about before we get out of here?
Oh yes. Calrones and I are working on a VTuber channel. So
Anything you want me to link, or is it just talk right now at this point?
it's just talk right now. We're still getting the rigging together, but it's the same sort of programming that Cabal.
Must be midnight. I hear the cuckoo clock going off.
Well,
It is midnight, yes. I'm using my mic for the end of that.
I'm sorry.
keep
Go
myself
ahead, 3
muted.
of 12.
Uzlu was talking about making a VTuber for subscribe Jan. You know, his anthropomorphization of the subscribe button. So we're going to be using the same code that AC is using, and we're going to get that rigging. We're still getting the rigging under control, but it's coming soon.
All right, sounds good. And for those of you who want to keep up with that, you can join Uzulu's Discord called the Cabal, and I will be grabbing that link and sharing it here momentarily. Here we go. And you can find out about the role-playing games that people play over on that server. You can find out about the Cabal itself, and also you can watch all of Uzulu's great live streams directly from Discord. He has a wonderful community, and I'm part of it. I highly recommend you guys all go join up. It's a lot of fun over there. So, now we have come to the end of the film. And what we're going to do is we're going to check entropy and all the usual things one last time to see if we've had any last-minute donations or anything.
I have to point out 2 more likes. 1 more like.
Please, go ahead.
Just 1 more like on the video to get you the meme number.
Oh, are we close? Are we at 68? Okay, nothing new over on PayPal, so we're going to shut that down. We will say, what was the, what is it? Ram My Hard Drive Daddy? Was that the crazy man's name? Is that what it was? Yeah,
Oh,
that's what
God.
it was. I hope that you feel gratified paying me $7 to say that. All right. And thank you for the 2 of you who watched over on Trovo. For those of you who've been watching over on DLive, we're going to open the treasure chest. So everybody pay attention over there. That'll be opening in 30 seconds. I'm going to open the chest for you guys. The Rock came in at the last minute and donated 2 ice creams over on DLive. Thank you very much.
The Rock.
So everybody click the chest and you'll get a few lemons in return. And now over on Entropy, we don't have any more paid donations or any more paid chat, but we do have a few things in the question box. So we're going to go through these. We have Hunter Cunning, which of course Don will know from his stream. He says, "Do any boobies come with the booby trap? Get out of here, dad joke." All right, next. We have from Keith Ray again. "Since Aydin was synced to it, she should actually get a boost from the trap. No?"
F.
Oh.
Oh, the fact that I knew that song.
Yeah.
Of if.
Yeah.
Yes.
Uh,
Bing, bing, bong, bong. I miss those times.
Yeah. Okay.
It's a beautiful song,
I chose
one of my
it because
favorites.
It is both terrible and addicting. So
I showed it. Okay, a quick meme before you punish me or reward me, I guess, is that I in like
any punishment or reward between Aiden and I will take place off of camera and preferably at a cheap hotel. So moving on.
I went to visit my dad like back in 2016, 17, something like that, and I played him a bunch of videos from I'm sorry, the channel's a Placeboing, and he said it felt like he was in an acid fever dream. So that's just how my dad who in the 70s, so he thinks it felt like being on acid.
Hunter Cunning also wanted to know if I could share the link to that video. Yes, I put it in Entropy chat, and I put it in YouTube chat and in DLive chat. I put the link to that ridiculous meme video. All right, and the last ones that we have here are from our buddy Kizza. That's my British co-host, or one of my 2 British co-hosts, my oldest one. He's an engineer who loves his beautiful dog. And he has 2 things to say over here on the Entropy question widget. He says, "Remember, people, if Radical Liberation and his wife can homeschool their 8 million kids, you can do it with your 1, 2, or 3 children." That's right.
Yeah.
Shout out to Radical Liberation being an
Very true.
absolute Chad at having a beautiful wife. They both are Christians, and they homeschool 8 kids.
Wow.
Why can't you do the same?
Congratulations. That's so
Yeah.
impressive.
Yeah. He's got a great channel, too. I'll go ahead and shill for him. I have it in my link bundle here. Let me scroll down here. Where you at, Radlib?
Are they doing weekly now, or are they still doing like once a fortnight thing?
I think they do weekly now. Give me a second. I don't quote me on that, but it feels like they do one every week. I'm putting it in the chat here for everybody. All right. It seems like the links I'm posting in Entropy Chat just disappear. I don't know why. I don't know if you guys are seeing them or not, but when I push enter, it just disappears, whatever. All right. So yeah, shout out to Radlib and his wife. They do amazing content. They do a homeschool and proper parenting stream, the two of them together, the husband-wife combo, where they talk about what you can do on any budget to run a more close-knit, healthier family to raise your children better in this dangerous world we live in.
That's awesome.
So definitely check out those streams. They just started it a couple weeks ago. And Radical Liberation is a really brainy economicist type guy who's part of the Mises Institute.
Oh,
so
wow.
he has a lot of excellent long-form streams where they break down complex socioeconomic things about our modern history and explaining the petrodollar, explaining why certain things don't work, explaining why A led to B, led to C, led to D to get us to where we are today. They have absolutely excellent streams, and I don't even have the lexicon to be able to talk about the kind of complex stuff they talk about. So if that sounds like your cup of tea, definitely go check out Radlib and his channel. And last but not least, we have from Kizza again over on the question widget. He says, great stream, everyone. It'll be even better with your favorite Englishman to add to the spice, references, and memes, because the ends always justify the memes. Speaking of the ends, memes, that's our friend Bill. Our friend Bill runs a channel called All-1. He's a big friend of the channel. He's a great man. And I'll go ahead and share his links here.
That's
you can
so confusing.
You can find him over at All-1 on YouTube. And, of course, you can find them doing their stuff over on the Ends Justify the Memes over on DLive. And I plan to be on their show again. And we also plan to have Bill on the next episode of Dragons of Discord.
Would you like me to invite my Bill on?
You can if you'd like to.
And we can have the Battle of the Bills.
Sure.
Oh man, we're gonna need to find more people named Bill.
You can be trans Bill. You can be whatever name you want now.
I identify as Bill.
I identify as Bill, so I can be on your screen. That's how it goes. Yizz.
My Bill is a D&D DM, so he might have some interesting perspectives on things.
Okay, that sounds good. So here at the end, I do want to Here at the end, I do want to thank Don and Aydin for coming on and sharing their time with me. I know that they're both busy, have families, and do things. You're both welcome back. Just like people have their regular guests, their bullpen of other creators, you two are at the forefront of people that I would like to do stream activity with. And you two also, thankfully, were willing to come on this stream today. So that means a lot to me, and thank you both very much for it. I do appreciate it.
Well, thanks for having us, Yizz.
Yeah, of course. Anytime.
Okay. Well, then in the future, what I'll do is I'm going to send out links, or not links, I'm going to send out PMs to people, and I'm going to build a Dragons of Discord spreadsheet or some shit, where as these streams go on, we're going to attract more and more people that want to be on as regular returning panelists, and we'll rotate people in and out. So if you two want to do more of this kind of fun stuff in the future, we'll definitely have you both back on again. And Aydin, you can even bring your Bill if you want some time.
That'll be fun. He'll hate it. That'll be the most fun part of it, is how much he'll hate it.
As long as he doesn't lean into the mic and scream Fed posty shit to get me taken down.
No.
I think that's my job.
It's my fiance, so if he does, he'll get in trouble.
George in the chat says he identifies as Power Bill.
Oh, okay.
Well, I identify as
Bill
the
on
utility.
top.
Yes. Well, that being said, everybody,
A flatter
thank you
joke
for
was
the
never
donations,
told.
Kizza. I appreciate the money. Thank you for everybody over on DLive. Thank you for everybody that tuned in today to watch us and to listen to us laugh and try to have a good time in spite of all the sad things going on in the world. That's what this show is going to be for. We're going to keep it light. We're going to keep it loose. We're going to laugh. And hopefully this will be a good place for people of different ideas and different necks of the woods to come together and to laugh and to help shill what they're doing and get different communities connected together. That's the goal of my channel in general, and that's going to be the small goal at the beginning and end of this stream, is to help get people connected. So to all of you who came, thank you very much. To my four wonderful panelists, my three panelists and my co-host 3 of 12, thank the four of you very much. And remember, tune in next week, because we're going to have a completely different dragon problem and hopefully get a completely different treasure hoard to sort through next week. So remember, come back and see us battle more dragons next week at the same time. Take it easy, everybody. Bye-bye.
Carry on.
Bye bye.
Say bye.
Bye, everybody.